Hello, television family. How you doing? Welcome to September. First day of a brand new month. It is the first day of September 2022. I am Dan Kuntz. Boy, do I need a haircut and a shave, but that's my problem. Not yours. Thanks for starting your day with us. And a brand new month and a busy one it's going to be. As you can see behind me from our jump-off ridge camera, we have a lot of smoke. And we have a lot of haze. And air quality has degraded. As soon as you step outside, if you haven't yet, you're going to step outside, you're going to smell it. Our air quality here in the valley is 56 on this scale. That makes it moderate. You want to be below 50. Cashmere's at 66. Leavenworth's at 54. They're considerably closer to the fires in the Lake Wenatchee area. But the one that jumps out at me right now, the air quality index in Chelan is at 115. 115 in Chelan. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups. We'll keep a close eye on that, but it is definitely as smoky and as hazy as we have seen since the fires broke out about 3 weeks ago up in the Lake Wenatchee area. We'll keep a close eye on that. Going to be another warm one today. Going to cool down a little bit. If August felt like it was a little bit warmer than normal, it was. We got some statistics to throw your way, and your complete Labor Day weekend forecast. A lot of people, their Labor Day weekend is beginning today. They're taking today off, and that gives them 5 solid days of goofing off, and good for them. It's going to be pretty nice weather, but as you can see, the smoke, we don't want to see that. Forecast details are coming up. We got some news to get to, a lot of news to get to. It was a busy day in the bullpen. We'll touch bases on that. Everything else you need to start your day, we got it all lined up for it. A nice little package. It is Thursday. Pause for Pets comes your way from our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Bubba the dog needs a home. Bubba the dog. And it's time for high school football. It gets going in earnest tomorrow. We have informed Ernest. He is ready. And to preview that, the next couple of days, we'll be talking to the coaches of the 2 big local high schools doing the honors today. Michael Don, head football coach of the Eastmont Wildcats. He's entering his 8th season at the helm, and he has turned that program completely around. He is a very good coach, and he's a great interview. Mike Don talks about his Eastmont Wildcats. They're getting ready to take on the Meade Panthers to begin their 2022 campaign tomorrow. We're going to be televising that game, of course, right here on the NCW Life channel. And then tomorrow, Wenatchee High School head football coach Scott Devereaux will be joining us. It is 72 hazy and smoky degrees outside. Our PTZ cameras now take center stage. Again, our Wenatchee Heights camera is gone. It's not even there anymore. It went out of order. I don't know what happened. We ordered a brand new one. It's on its way. In the meantime, we're stuck with that. But that might be a good way to look at it, because that jump-off ridge camera really gives you an idea of exactly how hazy and smoky we are. It is trapped right down on the valley floor. If it wasn't for the high pressure, which is now beginning to rebuild after our little windy condition yesterday, if it wasn't for that high pressure, of course, it wouldn't be there. Above the smoke, it's beautiful blue sunshine. But unfortunately, with the relative humidity at its highest this point of the day, it's at 49% right now. That's why the haze is hanging around the valley floor. Camera 2. I think everywhere we go, we're going to see some haze. There you go. That's the Stein Hill camera up in Cashmere. Turned around, it's 180 degrees. If we turn it 180 degrees from what you're looking at, you would see all of Cashmere. We flip it around the other way. We're pointing up towards Dryden, Pesheston, and Leavenworth, and you can see that haze hanging in there in that area in the upper valley. So everybody's dealing with a little bit of smoke right now. Camera 3. Waterville, Uriah? The Waterville camera, we're not looking at Waterville. I'm pretty sure there's not a big river that runs through Waterville. Little slice of Aniad, lower right-hand corner of your screen, way off in the distance. You can't see it. Nobody can. Is the Wenatchee Valley. That's our Waterville camera. So it's in Waterville, which is 4,000 feet above sea level. And then the tower itself is about 250 feet tall. And on top of that is a camera. So we have a huge swath of information we can soak in there. Good morning to our friends up to the north of us. And our 4th camera to wrap up our tour. Downtown Wenatchee, Washington, Chelan County, United States of America, North America, planet Earth. That's from the Cascadian, looking to the south, and that's pulled back a little bit. Again, the haze and the smoke is prevalent, and it's going to be that way, I think, for the next couple of days anyway. We're going to be under the influence of high pressure, and daytime temperatures are not going to be quite as hot as we had for most of this week. It's going to be plenty warm for most people. How warm was August now that we're in September? Well, the average daily high temperature in August. This is last year compared to this year. As you can see, for the Wenatchee Valley, it was several degrees higher than it normally is, or was last year anyway. It's actually even warmer than normal. Last year, August of 2021, our average daily high temperature was 88.7 degrees. This year, 91.7 degrees, a good 3 degrees warmer each day on average than it was in August of last year. And as you can see, it's up across the board from Chelan to Spokane and elsewhere. Everybody had a warmer than normal August. Not surprised there. And as far as Labor Day weekend is concerned, here we go. We have it in detail for you now. Starting today, takes you all the way through Wednesday, September 7th. Take a look at where you're going for outdoor activities or maybe indoor activities, depending on the air quality. As you can see, it's going to be quite warm pretty much everywhere we go, especially tomorrow. Friday is going to be the warmest day of this forecast period, and then we cool down. It's going to be warm, but not quite as hot as we've had. Yesterday's high, by the way, was 98. That was 1 degree off our record high. We almost got there, and our normal high this time of the year, now that we're in September, 82 degrees. So as you can see, we're going to be above normal, and many times well above normal, all the way through the middle of next week. And one other quick little note to pass along to you. For today, this first day of September, we get 13 hours and 21 minutes of daylight. 1 week ago on Thursday, we had 13 hours and 43 minutes of daylight. We've lost 22 minutes of daylight in the course of a week. From the National Weather Service, sunny, hazy, pretty darn warm, 95 degrees. Now, right now, outside of our studios, it's 72 degrees, so we're already off to a warm start. It's about 4 degrees warmer now than it was yesterday, but if the haze persists, we might not get to that 95 degrees. It's going to filter that ambient heat a little bit. 66 for the overnight low. We kick off our holiday weekend. I hope everybody gets a nice holiday weekend with the warmest day of the forecast period. Could very well be the last, really, I would say, hot day of the year, 98. I don't think we're going to get to 98 anymore, even though we do have some warm days in September. And again, widespread haze not out of the question on Friday. We need a little bit of wind. Not a lot, just enough wind to scour out the skies, and that's going to happen, we think, on Saturday. Friday night into Saturday, a little bit of a light breeze, keeping a close eye, and maybe, could see some elevated fire weather. It's certainly a concern. Just a couple of short waves coming through. So we're going to see a little bit of wind on Friday night and Saturday. Good news, it's going to clean out the air. Bad news, it might kick up some fires. And then we just say sunny and warm, and sunny and warm, and sunny and warm, and quite pleasant as we welcome September. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A 1 minute break. Grab your coffee, your Danish, your donut, your pancake. I don't care what it is, and come back and see me. We got the news for you. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
This could be the view out of your office window.
North Central Washington is probably one of the most beautiful places to live, and you get to experience it all as a transit operator.
Link Transit coach operators enjoy full family benefits, paid CDL training, a state-of-the-art fleet, and the satisfaction of being part of a progressive, community-minded team.
We have a lot of fun with each other. I mean, it's a good group of people. We're all kind of like a family.
If you like this view, Link has a seat for you. The next operator training starts soon. Apply today at linktransit.com.
Hey folks, Lehman here with Crown Furniture and Mattress. Folks, there's no question if you're looking for top quality furniture and mattresses, Crown Furniture and Mattress is the place for you. Whether it's Flex Steel's patented blue steel spring, Englander's 120 years of innovation, or Stan's incredible comfort. Folks, we have it all. So stop by and see us today at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Crown Furniture, where prices really are lower.
Smoky and hazy all over our viewing area. 72 degrees here in downtown Wenatchee. Our air quality is moderate, not good. Up in Chelan, your air quality is unhealthy for sensitive groups, and we're going to be dealing with some haze for the next couple of days anyway. 10 minutes after the hour, police say 3 Wenatchee Valley teenagers are now implicated in that shooting that happened on Saturday, that drive-by shooting that left that man injured. We talked about this yesterday. The shooting is believed to be gang-related. 2 of the suspects are 16 and 17 years old. The third, Octavio Medina Cuevas of East Wenatchee, he's 18 years old. That's why he was named. All were arrested over the last couple of days after the shooting. The shooting took place on Saturday. One man was struck in the arm by a bullet in the 1600 block of South Mission Street. Police are seeking felony charges against all three. First-degree assault and drive-by shooting is what they're seeking. If prosecutors, in fact, pursue those counts, all could be charged as adults. Medina is being held in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center the last we checked. A 66-year-old Rock Island man suffered what they believe to be life-threatening injuries after he jumped from a road grader he was driving. This happened on Tuesday. Douglas County Undersheriff Tyler Calley said it's unclear. Tyler Cale said it's unclear why the man jumped from the privately owned grader into a ditch as it was descending Rock Island Grade Road just after 1 o'clock on Tuesday. He said there were no indications that there was anything mechanically wrong with the grader. People in a pickup that was following the road grader called 911, loaded the man into their vehicle, and then they met up with law enforcement at Kirby Billingsley Hydro Park. The deputies rendered aid until paramedics arrived and transported him to Central Washington Hospital here in Wenatchee. A suspected drunk driver crashed his car into a house in Moses Lake. This happened yesterday morning. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said the driver suffered minor injuries. Nobody, luckily, was inside the residence, so therefore nobody was injured, neither the driver or the residents. The wreck happened about 11:30 yesterday morning at the Vandenberg Loop and Halsey Drive intersection in the Larson Community Project in Moses Lake. A $1 million grant from the Federal Aviation Administration is on its way to Pangbourne Memorial Airport. It's designated to pay for the redesign of Pangbourne's main taxiway. The project will widen Taxiway A to 75 feet. Currently, it's 50 feet wide. That way, it can better accommodate planes used by their client airline, Alaska Air. The airport plans to resurface and reline about 7,000 feet of taxiway. Taxiway's been deteriorating because of age and use. New lighting will also be installed. The overall project is expected to cost about $17.6 million. Ephrata Municipal Airport, they got $1.1 million in the round of FAA grants. So altogether, airports in our area received about $17.44 million in grants from the FAA. The Cascade Orchard Bridge in Leavenworth, on Icicle Road in Leavenworth specifically, is going to be closed for an entire month. That begins on Tuesday, September 6th. The contractor for Chelan County is beginning to repair the deck of the 57-year-old bridge. During the closure, a detour route will be available on East Leavenworth Road. The closure is expected to last until September 27th. That's when the bridge will be opened back up to traffic. Now, during the closure, the contractor is going to work on repairing the bridge deck and pouring new concrete. Once the new bridge deck has cured, a centerline marking will be striped on the bridge deck by early October. Then they'll be good to go. Now, the work will require one-lane flagger-controlled traffic, but that should only take about a half a day, they tell us. The full project is expected to be finished in early October. So what does the upcoming bridge closure mean for the Leavenworth Autumn Leaf Festival? That typically uses East Leavenworth Road as an alternate route during the Grand Parade. Well, Chelan County Public Works is working with the organizers of the Autumn Leaf Festival to determine an alternate route for people who need to get around Leavenworth on September 24th. And finally, did you forget about your garbage day pickup getting changed? A lot of folks did. Some residents went, oh, geez, that's right, I have a new day for my garbage. They were caught off guard as WM shifted garbage pickup days for a lot of its customers in our viewing area. WM, formerly known as Waste Management, they sent notices of the changes to all the households and businesses that would be impacted. They did that earlier in the month, but still, some people forgot. The change applies to garbage, recycling, and yard debris collection. WM said the changes are being made in an effort to improve the efficiency of the driver routes. I'm all for that. I just throw my garbage in the dumpsters here at the office. Probably shouldn't have said that. That's what's making news. At 15 minutes after the hour, Grant will be in the anchor chair again tonight. He's a busy guy. He'll be calling the play-by-play for Eastmont and Meade football tomorrow, too. Lots going on here this week. Grant will have the news. I'll be handling sports tonight on the NCW Life Evening News at 5, 6, and 10 with the preview, the man himself.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Our unseasonably hot weather will continue today and tomorrow before we see a cool down this weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Dan has the latest on the Mariners Detroit series and takes a look at what's happening with the Seahawks. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. You got a news tip? You want to drop us a note and say hi? Email us, news@ncwlife.com. Go to our Facebook page, use the Messenger app, or go to our homepage, our website, ncwlife.com, and click on the Contact Us icon. It works. I know. I tried it the other day. When we come back, Mariners, pretty much, well, they guaranteed they're going to take the series against the Tigers. Very exciting game. Got a little dicey towards the end. Highlights of a nice Mariner victory, and it was a very busy day for the Seahawks front office as well. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units. 17 minutes after the hour, Abraham Toro hitting the go-ahead 2-run bomb in the 7th inning, and that was the difference. The Seattle Mariners knocked off Detroit 5-3 last night. They have won 5 of their last 6. Good to have Toro back. He was recalled from AAA Tacoma on Tuesday. He had 2 hits. Eugenio Suarez had a dinger as well. Here are your highlights.
He said that'll bring up first baseman Ty France.
Goes after a high fastball. That's a rare whiff well up above the zone for France.
Right fielder Mitch Haniger, 1 on, 1 away, no score, top of the first inning.
Got him. Back-to-back punch-outs from Tyler Alexander here in the first.
2 outs for the Mariners here in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring up third baseman Eugenio Suarez. 3-0 pitch to Suarez, swung on and a fly ball into right field and deep. Reyes going back to the one, he tracked to the wall, looks up and goodbye baseball. Eugenio Suarez with a 2-out, 2-run opposite field home run to right. And just like that, the Mariners lead the Tigers 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. Eugenio going the other.
Haas finds a wide open right side. He works a base hit out of it. Eric Haas, catcher tonight for the Tigers, the leadoff single.
Here's the pitch. Inside, and that grazes Carpenter, hit by a pitch, and the Tigers have runners at first and second with nobody out. They had 2 on with nobody out in the bottom of the first inning, and Marco was able to get out of trouble. So that'll bring up Jamer Candelario. The stretch, and he delivers low and inside in the dirt. The ball gets between the wickets of Cal Raleigh all the way to the backstop, a wild pitch. And both runners advance, Haas to third and Carpenter down to second base. Pitch. Swinging a line shot over the head of Frazier into left field for a hit. That's going to score. Haas over to third goes Carpenter. Candelario with a base hit to left field, drives in a run, and it's now the Mariners 2 and the Tigers 1. So now the Tigers have runners at first and third with nobody out. Mariners hanging on to a 2-1 lead, and the batter will be second baseman Willie Castro.
Big bouncer up the middle. Frazier cuts it off, a little flip to Toro. They get Candelario there at second. However, Kerry Carpenter scores, and this game is now tied at 2.
For Marco Gonzalez, he can't anchor on what's happening. Obviously, you've given up 2 runs. You've missed some pitches, given up some hits.
A couple of singles, a hit batter, and a fielder's choice. Second hit batter, that's up and in. And the helmet comes off Riley Green. Out to right field, it backs Haniger up. Now at the head of steam, makes the catch. Meanwhile, Castro tags and advances to third. There's out number 2, lengthy at bat there for Victor Reyes.
So here is shortstop Javier Baez.
Line drive, and it's caught on a dive by who else? Eugenio Suarez. This is out to the gap in right center field. Touches down for a base hit. Rolls to the base of the wall. Frazier to second. He makes the turn. Headed for third without the helmet. A headlong slide. And Adam Frazier is safe with a 7th inning triple.
And the tying run is 90 feet away for the Mariners here, top of the 7th, and a 3-2 Detroit lead. That's huge. Here's Toro, switch hitter, infield. He drives this one deep to right. That baby's leaving the yard. A 2-run homer, Abraham Toro. And the Mariners have a 4-3 lead.
A 7th inning lead in the blink of an eye. France, base is loaded. Here comes the payoff. It is outside for ball 4. The Mariners get an insurance run on a bases loaded 9th inning walk.
And now the Tigers have the tying run on at first base. And here comes Javier Baez.
This guy's dangerous. He is a big-time free swinger.
He is.
This is not over, man.
He's scary.
Yeah.
Winning run at the plate, 2 outs. The 1-2.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and it's over. The Mariners win it by a score of 5-3 over.
Seattle starter Marco Gonzalez struggled early, and you know what he did? While the Mariners were batting, he went into the clubhouse and changed jerseys. Said it was just a vibe kind of thing. Anyway, he did get the victory. Paul Sewald, by the way, walked around 2 in the 9th, got his 17th save for manager Scott Service, a milestone. His 1,000th game as the manager of the Mariners, second all-time. Only Sweet Lou Piniella has managed more. The Mariners go for the series sweep this morning. 10-10. First pitch, Logan Gilbert will pitch for the Mariners. Logan Gilbert has not won a game since July 5th. Maybe he'll get past that. Among the plethora of roster moves yesterday, the Seattle Seahawks re-signed Justin Coleman. That gives the team 7 cornerbacks, but only 5 are healthy enough to actually play. Artie Burns, he's out with a pulled groin. And Sidney Jones IV has a concussion. Coach Pete Carroll gave us an update on Jones's condition.
Sidney's a really adept guy. You know, he knows his stuff. He's really a smart player. He's meticulous about his work habits and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about that part of it. But, you know, you can get rusty after a couple weeks of not going at the tempo that we play at. Practice is going to be important for him. And so hopefully we can get him back out here with some reps.
Running back Ken Walker III has seen limited action early this year because, well, he's got a hernia. And it's hard to play football when you got a hernia.
Ken, you know, this is a really uncharted territory for him and for us too in that regard, that, you know, what he's coming back from. He feels way better. He's moving around. He's throwing the football around today. It's just going to be one day at a time. I told him I'd start punching him in the stomach here pretty soon, you know, a couple days from now to get him ready. So.
Number 3 quarterback Jacob Eason, who was waived on Tuesday. He's expected to sign now with the Carolina Panthers, and so he was replaced by veteran Sean Mannion on the practice squad. You remember Sean, he was with the practice squad last year. GM John Schneider said the move makes sense. He's familiar with the offense of Shane Waldron, so why not? Jacob Eason out, Sean Mannion in. And finally, former Apple Sox player Michael Toglia has made it to the show. He was called up by the Colorado Rockies on Tuesday. He's going to make his major league debut. He shined in his summer with the Apple Sox back in 2016. He was good. He had 306, 22 extra base hits. He won the West Coast League's MVP. He also smacked 7 home runs. Toglia is now the 18th former Wenatchee Apple Sox player to appear in an MLB game. Congratulations to Michael. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this first day of September. Your obscure holiday, I'm going to give you 8 words. They all have something in common. These 8 words: orange, month, silver, spirit, chimney, purple, woman, and angst. Those are all known as refractory rhymes. What does that mean? They don't rhyme with anything. Yeah, today is National No Rhyme, No Reason Day. Today, it's observed annually on September 1st. We talk about words in the English language which do not rhyme with any other words. So if you're a poet, try to avoid to use the following words: angst, woman, purple, chimney, spirit, silver, month, and orange. as they don't rhyme with any other word. National No Rhyme Nor Reason Day, which also applies to this program in many respects. I tried to rhyme orange the other day. It doesn't rhyme with anything. It just doesn't. So if you're a poet or a songwriter, try to avoid those 8 words, if you don't mind. 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, got ourselves a war, World War II. 83 years ago today, September 1st, 1939. It wasn't really a big surprise when Nazi Germany invaded Poland from the west. Poland had horses and cavalry. Hitler and the Nazis had tanks and shells, and it didn't last very long. Here's some contemporary footage of the outbreak of World War II 83 years ago today.
On September the 1st, 1939, the Nazi army smashed into Poland.
Well, a lot of people forget about that fateful day is that the Nazis had a non-aggression pact, of course, with the Soviets. We won't attack each other, but when Nazis attacked Poland from the west, the Soviets said, well, we'll take Poland from the east, and they met halfway and just divvied it up. People forget about it. The Soviet Union invaded Poland from the other side just a day or so later. Got to get the real estate while you can. World War II broke out on this date 83 years ago today. The first book my dad ever made me read, and then I had to do a report on it. It wasn't even a school assignment. The Old Man and the Sea, the classic Pulitzer Prize-winning novel from the great Ernest Hemingway, hit bookstores on this date 70 years ago today, September 1st, 1952. First book my dad ever said, you have to read this book, and then you have to tell me about the book to prove to me that you read it. He made me read it. I'm glad he made me read it, and I've read it probably a dozen times since then. The Old Man of the Sea. You could go out and buy it on this date 70 years ago today. People forget how big this was. 50 years ago today, I remember this, chess mania swept this country because Bobby Fischer defeated Boris Spassky to become the first ever American world chess champion. It happened in Iceland, in Reykjavik, Iceland, where all the great chess players go. This was huge. It was the match of the century, had worldwide news and television and media coverage. It resulted in a ginormous boom in the interest of chess in America, which really wasn't that big of a game until Bobby Fischer came around. When Bobby Fischer returned home as the world chess champion, they held a Bobby Fischer Day. He was offered $30 million in endorsements. He turned them all down. We had a chess boom in this country for a while, thanks to Bobby Fischer. And of course, it was 50 years ago today when he won. Well, we didn't know at the time that Bobby Fischer was 50 years ago today. This I remember. KAL, Korean Airlines Flight 007, New York, stopping in Anchorage to refuel, and then its final leg from Anchorage to Seoul disappeared off the radar. What happened to it? Well, as we found out, the Soviets shot it down. Here's a contemporary news report.
Anxiety had started to mount when the flight from New York to Seoul, with a stop in Anchorage, wasn't heard from for several hours. First reports said the plane had been forced down on the Soviet-controlled Sakhalin Island, which is off northern Japan. Then came the unavoidable savage truth. When the big jet had disappeared from Japanese flight control radar, it had disappeared from the sky itself, obliterated with up to 269 people aboard by a heat-seeking missile fired by a Soviet Su-15 interceptor. Among those presumed dead, United States Senator Larry McDonald and at least 30, possibly 40 other Americans and an Australian family of 4. In Washington, Secretary of State Schultz said this was no accident. He described how the Soviet hunters tracked their prey.
Aircraft for 2.5 hours, at least 8 fighters at one time or another were around in the vicinity, and the aircraft that shot the plane down was close enough for visual inspection of the aircraft.
Of course, the Soviets denied everything, and then they admitted everything. A couple of weeks later, they found the wreckage on the floor of the Sea of Japan in their territory. They didn't tell anybody. They found the flight recorder in October of that year. Again, didn't tell anybody for a long, long time, about 10 years. And what a lot of people didn't know at the time, that wasn't discovered until a few weeks later. They still, even after they were hit by the missile from the Soviet MiG, the pilots were still able to control the plane for about 5 more minutes before it finally fell into the Sea of Japan. It was 39 years ago today. And 37 years ago today, they found it. 73 years after the Titanic sank to the bottom of the Atlantic in April of 1912. For 73 years, they've been trying to find it. Trying to find it. Trying to find it. And on September 1st, 1985, Robert Ballard and the joint French-American expedition found the wreckage of the Titanic. It made worldwide news, including ABC News, World News Tonight.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. There is no more famous shipwreck in the world, and the discovery of the Titanic in the Atlantic off the coast of Canada has been the dream of countless deep-sea explorers. Well, thanks to an American-French team, it is no longer a dream. In a moment, we'll talk to a member of the task force which found the Titanic. This afternoon, I talked by ship-to-shore radio with the chief scientist on the Titanic expedition, Dr. Robert Ballard. Have you actually seen the hull of the Titanic standing upright as it's been reported? Over?
That's correct. That's correct. It's sitting upright on the bottom.
What kind of condition does the Titanic look in? Over?
Appears to be in superb condition. One would expect that given the fact that we're working in extremely deep water. It's ice cold and in total darkness, so it's an environment of high preservation. Over.
Do you have any plans to try raising the Titanic? Over?
Oh, I think that would be ridiculous. No, absolutely not. In fact, I would like to go and try to ensure that desecration of this memorial to 1,500 souls is left the way it is. Over.
They found it on this date in 1985. Let's do some birthdays. When I was a kid, she was about the funniest woman on television. In nightclubs and comedy albums, Lily Tomlin. Happy birthday, Lily. Still active in Hollywood, still acts. She's still funny. She's 83 years old today. Became famous for laughing, of course, but she, on her own, can hold her own with any female comedian. Happy 83rd to Lily Tomlin. Barry Gibb, the last surviving member of the Bee Gees and their principal songwriter, is 76 years old today. Barry Gibb either wrote by himself or co-wrote 16 #1 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, second only to John Lennon and Paul McCartney. And according to the Guinness Book of World Records, Barry Gibb is the second most successful songwriter in popular music history, behind only Paul McCartney. He's 76 years old today. Phil McGraw is 72. Can't call him Dr. Phil anymore. He ain't a doctor no more. He gave up his license to practice medicine in 2006. He was of course, it was a therapist. But yeah, he gave up his doctorate. Didn't keep up his license in 2006. So he's just Phil now. Of course, he gained fame for being on Oprah and then got his own show. Phil McGraw is 72 years old today. And I feel bad. I missed Alicia's birthday. Alicia is our director of First Impressions here at the NCW Life Channel. Her birthday was yesterday. I didn't know about it until after the show was over. So to make it up for you, happy belated birthday to Alicia, who will have a new last name here shortly. Happy birthday, Alicia. We took that picture of her, by the way, yesterday at her desk when she wasn't paying attention. All right, still to come, Michael Don, a great football coach who has turned around the Eastmont Wildcat football program and has turned them into a perennial winner. They open their campaign for 2022 tomorrow night at Eastmont Stadium against the Meade Panthers. We're going to talk to Coach Don when we come back, plus an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. But first, Bubba the dog needs a home. For the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, it's Paws for Pets.
I'm Jenny. I'm the Animal Behavior Coordinator here at Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And today I have with me my friend Bubba. Bubba's been here for a little while, and we're not quite sure why, because he overall one, he's super cute. And two, he's a really awesome dog. He's a pretty chill dog. He likes to go on walks. He likes to sniff, smell things. He loves being outside. But he also loves being inside, hanging out, just chilling. He will go outside on turf here at the shelter, but as soon as he's done his business, he likes to come back into his bed and hang out. He does go to playgroup with a kind of select group of female dogs. His best friends right now are Isadora and Roxy, and they're a little bit of a stronger female personality. He seems to like them just fine. Overall, though, Bubba is just a fun guy. He's super laid back. He's a great companion. So we hope somebody comes in and discovers, what a good dog he is. Yeah.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for quiet hour. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Wenatchee, it's a WWE Sunday stunner you won't want to miss. Witness Drew McIntyre and the New Day take on the Usos and Sami Zayn in a 6-man tag team match. This is massive. Plus, Liv Morgan battles Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's WWE Sunday Stunner, live in Wenatchee, Sunday, September 11th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages available now.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Mondays are happy hour all day long at Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee. Great deals on appetizers, martinis, specialty drinks, wine, well drinks, and draft beers. Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee. Come on in. They look forward to serving you.
The NCW Life Channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life Channel today.
Did you know that nearly 50% of pet poisoning cases involve human medications and prescription drugs? Sometimes the culprit's a curious dog, but cats get into their share of trouble as well. Other times, pet owners mistakenly give their pets their own medications that are safe to people but toxic to their pets. Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff care about your pets. Go to pawsandclawsvh.com for a complete list of medications to avoid or call 888-PAWS.
Hey, this is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. No wonder women are angry, and no wonder they're speaking out. For far too long, we've ignored the fact that women have been abused and harassed at the hands of some men. And yes, maybe it's not you, but it's somebody. Official stats used to be that 1 in 4 women would be sexually assaulted to some degree by the time she graduated high school. But in reality, this statistic is far too conservative. But even accepting that it's 25% of women who suffer this abuse, isn't that conservative figure a justifiable explanation for why women are speaking out and demanding change? Of course it is. This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Don't make plans to store your boat for the off-season until you've checked out the Super Package from Bob File Boats and Motors. With this package, you just drop your boat off for winterizing, and they take it from there. When you pick it up in the spring, it'll be ready to go for the next season. There are too many features in the Super Package to list here, so get the details. 509-884-3558.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
Who are you talking to? I told you, knock it off!
End the cycle. Call SAGE, Safety, Advocacy, Growth, and Empowerment. Get private, anonymous counseling. Learn how SAGE can help you. Receive legal assistance and protection. SAGE also offers a safe place for you and your children. Of course, a hug from Hank always helps. SAGE can help you move on with your life. Call SAGE today.
Lean back and save at Boswell's. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, or office chairs and get up to $1,500 credit towards the purchase of more. Or save $400 on stressless signature-based recliners and ottomans and motorized classic power recliners. Don't wait. Take the opportunity to fill your home with stressless comfort for less. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
COVID-19 has impacted all of us. Being healthy today might mean something different to you, your neighbor, or your colleague.
My healthy is getting back into the gym and eating right.
Finding resources to help with my health.
A message from Chelan Douglas Health District.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life channel.
Welcome back. My guest today is the head football coach of the Eastmont Wildcats, entering his 8th season. Took over the program in 2015, a program that was low-key, it was wandering, and Coach Michael Don came in and said, we can do better, and he has since done better. What Coach Don has done over the last 7 years has been absolutely remarkable. A program that was kind of listless has now become one of the powers in the Columbia Basin Big Nine. Coach Michael Don of the Eastmont Wildcats, thanks for joining me, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts of this year, let's talk about last year. Great year, 5-1 in league, 8-3 overall. Tough loss to Moses Lake, cost you the league championship, but a really good year last year for your ball club.
Yeah, good year. Kids did a good job. They were able to overcome a lot of adversity with, constantly changing lineups with COVID and injuries and things like that. And it was good to see kids just every week step up and fill positions.
You told me from day one when you took the job, this job is really between June and August when you get the kids in the weight room and you get them into the program, because you had to basically build the program from the ground up. That has paid off in spades, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Our kids do a phenomenal job in the weight room year round. We've got 50 guys in our 0-hour weight training class. We've got another 30-something in weight training classes during the school day. And, this year we have between 9 through 12, we have 130 kids out. And over the summer, we averaged over 100 kids a day in the weight room. So those kids really put in a lot of time.
130 is a sizable turnout, even for a school the size of Eastmont, because you hear, I don't want Johnny to play football, concussions and CTE and everything. Sell your program to the folks out there who have 7th and 8th graders. Say, hey, Come out and play football at Eastmont.
You know, we feel like our program's about more than football. Our kids really, band together, and they do a lot of things together. We feel like we got a pretty tight-knit group, and it's just only grown. So, like, this year, we only have 13 seniors in the program. COVID kind of hit a couple of those older grades, but we have 36 juniors and 38 sophomores out. So those numbers are huge. And then another 40 freshmen. So we feel like our numbers are just going to continue to grow.
I was talking to a couple of the guys in the trenches, and while we were setting up, and I said, hey, you guys were offensive line of the year last year, weren't you? And the guy looked at me right in the eye, he goes, this year too. Talk about your O-line, may be the strength of this club.
Great kids, hard-working group, just they're fun to be around. You know, we got the 2 returning all-leaguers with Andrew Swan and Gael Gonzalez. And then you've got Damian Ariano, who started on D-line last year. We moved over to O-line, and then we got a couple guys that have just worked their way up the lineup who played JV last year. We really feel like that group's going to be tough, and they get after it, and they have a good time.
Without giving away too much, you going to pound the rock this year? Is that it with Gunner and the crew? What do you got going?
Oh, we'll continue to do what we do, and we also feel like we've got a third-year quarterback back there who can sling it, and we got some receivers who can go out and get the ball. And Austin Ruffins might be one of the more underrated pass catchers coming out of the running back spot. And his brother Adrian, I think, is going to shock this league this year. He's 6'4", 185 pounds, and he can run like a gazelle. He's going to be a tough one to defend, and we'll probably throw it a little bit more than we have the last few years.
It's funny you mentioned the league. 2 years ago, Moses Lake was 0-10. Last year, they were undefeated in league. Coach Jay has really turned that program around. Are you considering them the team to beat again this year, the newly reformed
Warriors? They're going to be tough. I mean, Moses Lake's got a great athletics community. My first 3 years here, they won the league title. They had a little 3-year hiatus, and then right away they're right back. You know, so it's not like they've always been down in the dumps. It wasn't a long-term thing. It was just kind of a quick fall from grace. They went straight from league title to bottom, and now they're coming back. And he does a great job, and those kids are buying in. And we do feel like they'll be tough, and that should be a great one to end the year.
Again, Coach Don last year, 5-1 in league during the COVID year. They were 3-0 in league. We kind of don't count that. 2019, 5-1 in league. 2018, 6-0 undefeated in league champions. To me, and I know you like to talk about the future, not the past. To me, when I was doing my homework, Coach Don, about this team and what you have done to turn this program around, I go back to that unbelievable overtime victory against Wenatchee High in 2017. To me, as a football fan and as an observer, that victory was the epiphany for this program. You beat your rivals in overtime. You've owned them ever since. That game, to me, told me that Eastmont has arrived.
Yeah, our kids, we went 1-9 year 2, and that group of seniors and a lot of the underclassmen, we sat down, we talked about what it's going to take to kind of change some things, and they really bought all in on it. And that group was not the most physically developed. We hadn't been in the weight room as much. We're just kind of building that part, but they were all in on doing everything else, and they really achieved. Started off that year, 1-4, and then they just kind of rattled off 5 straight to end the season. They kind of got it going, and getting over that hump. When I started, I think Eastmont had beaten Wenatchee not a lot of times, and that was a mental thing for kids. Going into that game, I think they made it more than it needed to be. It's a high school football game against your rival. Obviously, it means something, but there was that fear of failure and can we beat them? And now they go into the game and they're ready to go out and compete. And so that kind of helped them get to that point.
And they also, watching you coach over the last few years and the games that we've done here on the NCWF channel, they seem to enjoy it. They seem to be having fun. Mm-hmm. There's nobody frowning. There's nobody slogging. There's nobody kicking the water cooler. They like playing football.
They do. We got great kids here. Our kids work hard. They're a lot of fun to be around. Sometimes they're a little goofy beyond the point, but hey, we got coaches just like that, and the kids do a good job. We let them have their own personality while holding them accountable still, and we think it helps helps them just be themselves and relax and have fun.
Last year, you took on Central Valley in a terribly exciting game that you pulled out at the end. You're not being weenies when it comes to scheduling. The Meade Panthers are a very good team out of the GSL, like all the teams are. Right out of the box, you got Meade.
Absolutely. When we're trying to build it up, we scheduled some non-leagues we thought were winnable games with some smaller schools that were good, so we could get some competition. And as we kind of built and got going, and we're like, we got to go out and play the best we can find. And it's not easy. We've had opponents turn us down because they don't want to prepare for the wing tee. We tried to schedule a state quarterfinalist, and the coach just said, no, thank you. We just don't want to prepare to play against the wing tee. And so, it's hard to find games. Not a lot of people want to travel all the way out here, but we try to find the best opponents we can. So we got Meade. Timberline was a 3A playoff team, and then we have Skyline, who, they're going to be solid. They got a couple of Division I kids on the perimeter, and they're well coached, and it'll be good.
How does the scheduling work? I know you go. League schedule is league schedule. That's kind of out of your hands. But do you sit down with Russ Waterman and say, let's see if we can find A, B, and C on a 2-year cycle?
We do. So we'll sit there and we get our league schedule. We see when we have our openings, obviously week 1 and 2, and then we're trying to find our this year it was week 7. And so we're just like, okay, who can we pick up and not travel too far? Try not to go to Vancouver or anything like that. But schedule teams and try to find teams that fit what we're trying to do. So we want to find good opponents. We want to challenge ourselves. I told Russ, we're to the point where I'd rather lose against a tough non-league opponent and earn our ranking at the end of the year than continue to go 9-1, 8-2, and get a 12, 13, 14, 15 seed. So we're going to go play the best teams we can find. Not always the best that we'd want to play. Sometimes we try to get something and it doesn't work out, but play solid opponents and challenge our kids so that when it comes playoff time, we're a little bit better tested.
We'll wrap this up with Coach Don with a couple of quick questions. Speaking of the postseason, he mentioned that new format this year, folks. In the years past, the top 2 teams out of the Columbia Basin Big Nine automatically punched their ticket to state. They were one of the 16. Different format this year. You're now going into the pool with the Greater Spokane League and the Mid-Columbia Conference for playing games in Week 10 to punch your ticket to state. Does that change anything a great deal?
No, it makes it to where you're basically going to the playoffs at that point. You're playing good opponents, so our top 4 teams from league make it. Our 1 seed will play a 3 seed from, I think, Tri-Cities this year. Our 2 seed will play either the Tri-Cities or Spokane 2. Our 3 seed will play one of their ones, and our 4 seed will play one of their ones. And so we just got to kind of find, we got to get into that top 2. Otherwise, you got a really, really tough opponent. And those 2 leagues are solid. Every year they're putting out state championship caliber programs. And I think it'll be good for our league. I think, taking our berths and going straight to state was good. But, I've always said, I was like, I want to go play teams. I want to earn spots. And, I want to get into the playoffs knowing where we can compete. And, right now, we've found out we're not ready for those top 4 teams yet, because when we play one of those teams that's semifinalist, we struggle a little bit. But as we continue to grow and challenge ourselves to play better teams, we hope that we can get to that point.
Why do you do this, Coach? What drives you to come out and do this and work your rear end off spring, summer, winter, fall, and coach football? What drives you?
Man, be honest with you, I got into this education thing, coaching thing, because of my 5th grade teacher and defensive line coach, Mr. Mark Little. He's a retired teacher over in Prosser, and he was my 5th grade teacher, and he kind of helped me and was somebody I looked up to, somebody I enjoyed playing for, and I was like, I want to do that someday. And he really made me want to become an educator and work with kids because of how he did it. And then, as far as how I coach, I learned a lot from Coach Moore. Obviously knows how to get it done, and I took a ton of things away from him and learned a lot. And it's a bug. It's hard to get rid of. It's something I enjoy doing all the time. Enjoy coming out here with these guys, and we have a good time. I got great coaches that are fun to be around, and that helps.
Coach Don, I'm going to give you the last word. That camera with that big, tall, strapping guy is standing there. That's your camera. Let's get folks from all over the Wenatchee Valley, not just East Wenatchee, but all over the Wenatchee Valley, to come out and watch some quality football all Friday night long. Coach Don, it's all yours. I'll let you take it home.
Absolutely. Come out. These kids work their tail off. We got a lot of them out here. Come support your community and have fun. Fill the stands. These guys like playing in front of people. Whether you got a kid here or not, support if you're an Eastmont alum. If you're a Wenatchee alum, you're welcome to come support us. We'd love to have some new fans.
Coach Michael Don, who, when he stands right next to me, we kind of look like the number 10. The Wenatchee Panthers, we'll be profiling them the next day. The Meade Panthers, Friday night here, September 2nd at Wildcat Stadium. We will have the game for you live here on the NCAA Live channel. Coach Don, have a great season. I look forward to visiting with you on a regular basis.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you're watching the NCAA Live channel. We'll be right back.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
Welcome to Click It RV. How can I help you?
We're looking to trade in our tent for a new RV.
Perfect.
Let's take a look. Water heater?
Nope.
Does it have a queen bed?
No.
Does it have a bathroom?
No.
How about air conditioning?
Nope.
Well, you're in luck. We have the perfect solution for you.
We'll give you $1,000 for it.
What?
What?
That's right. At Click It RV in July, trade your tent in for an extra $1,000 towards your RV purchase. Come see us today.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
The Owensburg Rodeo will be rocking the chutes this Labor Day weekend. It all starts Thursday, September 1st at 8, featuring country music star Chancey Williams with special guest Claire Dunn. The Owensburg Rodeo, now one of the top 10 rodeos in America, including the event of the year, the Extreme Bulls Saturday night, right where it all began. Tickets are going fast, so get them while you can. Call 800-637-2444 or visit ellensburgrodeo.com.
73 degrees here in the big city. As you can see behind me from our jump-off ridge camera, pretty much the same thing that we had an hour ago when we began our weekly visit. The air quality is deteriorated. In fact, I just went to the Washington State Department of Ecology's air monitoring network site, and we were able to grab this for you so you can take a look at where we're at exactly. Wenatchee right now, as we sit, the air quality is now moderate. 0 to 50 is green, and that's good. But once you get into the yellow, things start getting a little dicey. As you can see, we're at 60 on the meter. Cashmere's at 73. Leavenworth is at 56. But take a look at Cashmere. Not Cashmere, I'm sorry. At Chelan. Chelan's at, what is it, 104 right now? That means the air up in the Chelan Valley is unhealthy for sensitive groups. Now, the air quality should improve gradually as the day progresses, as the relative humidity begins to dry out. As far as Labor Day weekend is concerned, looking pretty good. A little bit cooler today. We hit 98 yesterday, almost set a record high. Going to be a couple of degrees cooler today. Then we pop right back up to 98 on Friday, and then it's going to cool down a little bit, but really not much. The one thing we're really keeping a close eye on is there's going to be a couple of short waves that's going to kind of pass around the high pressure ridge. We're under the influence of another ridge of high pressure. And that means it's going to get a little windy on Friday night and Saturday. Not blustery winds, not strong winds. The good news is that the wind might be strong enough to scour out the sky and clean up the air. But the bad news, of course, it means an elevated fire weather concern as we head into the holiday weekend. 95 today, so a couple of degrees cooler. We warm right back up to 98 to get your weekend going. Then we cool down and hopefully have clear skies for the weekend. And that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.